In this video, we're going to take a look at Safari, or what I call Safari Utilities. This includes how we can share a web page, hide distracting items, new in iOS 18, how we can translate a website, search a web page, customize a startup page, and even change the search engine. Now, before we get started, if you like what you see here, stick around to the end. I'll tell you a little bit more about myself and how you can help support my efforts in creating these videos. All right, let's get back to Safari on the iPhone. The first thing we're going to look at is how we can share a web page. So I'm going to open up Safari here. And I'm looking at, let's just go with one of my favorite sites, Dan's Tutorials. And let's say I wanted to share this with someone. How can I do that? Well, basically all you have to do is just go down to the share icon. And when you tap on that, you're going to have the option to share it here. Just tap on what app you want to share it with. It could be messages. You could put it into a note. If you wanted to mail it to someone, you just swipe over until you find mail, and then you tap on that, and you can share that link. What Safari will do is it'll copy that link, the page that you're on, in this case here, Dan's Tutorials. What it'll do is it'll copy that, and then it'll send it to someone. So if I go over here to messages, it'll just copy it, and then you can go send a message to someone with that link. Now, if you want to copy the link and put it into a different app, maybe the app isn't showing up here. Even if you tap on more, you can see more apps when you tap on that. You can also just copy the link. So you're going to see copy here. All I have to do is just tap on that, and it'll copy that link into the clipboard, and then I can paste it into a note or anything else. So that's how we can share a web page. Now let's take a look at how we can hide distracting items. This was introduced with iOS 18. So I'm back on my site here, and I have this AI assistant. Well, this could be a distracting item. Maybe you don't want to see it there. So what you would like to do is you would like to hide it. How can you do that? Well, it's pretty easy to do with iOS 18 and later. Basically, what we need to do is we need to go to our page view options here. So I tap on that in the address bar. And then you're going to see the option to hide distracting items. I tap on that. It puts Safari into a special mode. And now what I do is I tap on the items that I want to hide. So in this case here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap on this here. And when I do, you're going to see it says hide. So now I tap on hide. So you have to tap on it to select it. And then what you do is you tap on hide, and it'll hide that. Now the last step is you need to get out of this. It's in a special mode. So now what I need to do is I need to tap on done, and now that is hidden. I can even refresh the page. I tap on this to refresh it, and you're going to see that it doesn't appear again. Where else can you use this? Well, that Google login that we're starting to see on more and more websites. What we're able to do is hide that. That's a distracting item. So when you see that on a website, just go over here to the page icon, put it into that hide distracting mode, hide distracting items mode, and then tap on that Google login. And then once you hide it, it will no longer show on that web page. Now, if you want it to show again, you can do that. You're going to see I have here show hidden items. So maybe I do want to use that AI assistant on my site, the one that I hid. I just tap on show hidden items, and we can see it is shown here. I have to go through the steps again to hide it, so I would just tap on that to go and hide it. So that's how we can hide distracting items. Again, new in iOS 18, so if you're using an older version of iOS, you're not going to see that option. We can also translate sites. Now, the first step to translating a site, well, I'll show you where it is, and then I'll show you how we have to set it up. So when I go back over to this page view option, you're going to see I have the option to translate the site. And when I tap on that, I'm able to select what language I want to translate it to. But before you see this, you first have to go and add that language. So how do we do that? Well, what we have to do is we have to go to our settings. So I'm going to swipe up, and then we go over here to settings. Under settings, what we do is we go to general, and then under general, you're going to see language and region. We have to add those languages that we want to translate to. So now I tap on language and region. I go and add the language that I want. And then once I add those languages, I'm going to be able to choose them. So in my case here, I'm able to choose to translate it into Spanish and French. So now let's go back over to Safari. So now that we have that set up, I'm going to go to Safari here. I tap on this. Being that I have those two languages added, when I tap on Translate Website, I can select which one. We're going to go with Spanish. And now it is translating that into Spanish. To bring it back to your primary language, in my case English, I tap on that little icon again, and then you're going to see View Original. When I tap on that, it brings it back to English, my primary language. Another nice utility or tool that I like to tell people about is how we can search a web page. We're not talking about searching a website, we're talking about searching a web page. Now, where I will generally use this is on a Wikipedia page. So let's go over here to Wikipedia, and let's just go with this link here. And let's say I wanted to search for something. I want to search for PSA. That's something to do with prostate cancer. So now what I do, if I want to search this web page, not the web itself, I'm searching this web page here, what I do is I go to this little page view icon again, and then we go to this icon right here. When I tap on that, what it allows me to do is search this web page. So now what I'm able to do is search for PSA, and you're going to see it shows me where it is in there. It also tells me how many instances, and I can go to the next instance. So there are 4 instances where it mentions PSA, and if I wanted to go back and forth, I tap on those. We can also do this when our iPhone is in reader view. I'm going to tap on Done here, and we're going to go into reader view. I long press on this to put it into reader view. And again, when I tap on this, it's in reader view. When I tap on that, I'm able to search the web page. So that's how we can search a web page. So you're looking at a long article, you want to look for something within that article, this is how you can do it. What about changing the search engine? By default, Apple puts it to Google. Maybe you don't want to use Google as a search engine. Well, the way that we do that is through the Settings app. So I'm going to go up to the Settings app. So I swipe up to get to my home screen. We go over here to Settings. And then what I need to do is go to all of my settings here. I'm using iOS 18. So now at the bottom, new in iOS 18, they have a new tab. There are a new option that says Apps. I tap on Apps. And now I need to go to Safari. So I tap on the S, and then we go to Safari. So we're looking for the settings for Safari. I tap on it. We have all the different settings for Safari. And one of them here is search engine. And by default, it is set for Google. So now I tap on that, and I can go and change it to a different search engine. We can also set it to use a different search engine when we're private browsing. So if you open up a new private tab, I tap on this to turn that off, and now I can set what engine I want to use for private tabs. So we can have a separate search engine for private tabs as well as our regular tabs. The last thing I want to mention is the startup page. When you go to Safari, I'm going to go back over to Safari here, and you open up a new tab. So I'm going to tap on this here, and we go and open up a new tab. When we open up a new tab, what it does is it opens up to not a specific website. It opens up to the start page. And the start page here shows us our favorites. So these are our favorite bookmarks. It's a special folder within bookmarks. I can also see the privacy report. I have my reading list. And then if I swipe up, I can also see what's on my other devices. I would tap on, turn on, and now it's going to show me all of my tabs from my other devices. So this is the startup page. It's basically a blank web page. Well, what we're able to do is we're able to customize this. I can remove different things from here. I can even move them around. So how do we do that? Well, basically we just swipe up till we get to the very bottom, and you're going to see Edit here. When I tap on Edit, I have the option to set what I want to include in my start page. So maybe I don't want to include the privacy report. I just want to take that out. So I just tap on it to turn that off. But what I would like to do is include frequently visited. Tap on that, and now that is going to show me my frequently visited websites. I also would like to turn off suggestions. Tap on that and it'll turn it off. And if I wanted to add a background image, I could do that as well. I tap on this. I select the image. We're going to go with this one here. Has to download it. And then once it downloads it, it's going to add that as the background image for that startup page. So now let's see what we have here. It's no longer going to have the privacy report, and it's going to have a different background image here. So now I close this, and you're going to see it has a background there, and I no longer have that privacy report. So that's how we can customize our startup page. And basically, this is the page that shows up when you open up a new blank tab. You don't go to a specific website. So again, I go over here to my tabs. I tap on the plus to add a new tab. Instead of going to a website, what it's going to do is it's going to go to that startup page. And then from here, I'm able to select from my favorites. I can go and select from my reading list. I can select from recently closed tabs and even tabs on my other devices. And we can easily customize this just by swiping all the way down to the bottom and tapping on Edit. So that's how we can customize a start page for Safari. So those are some of the utilities, or what I would call utilities, that we have available to us in Safari on the iPhone. Now, if you found this video helpful, what you may want to do is like the video. You can share it with your friends and family. You can subscribe to my channel. It all helps. But in addition to that, you may want to check out danstutorials.com. In addition to having more videos, I also have an AI assistant modeled after an Apple Genius, and I host classes and webinars on a regular basis. So how can you help support my efforts? Well, it is a membership-based site. When you become a member of the site, I take out all of the ads of the videos, so you're not going to see any of those pesky ads. You have access to my AI assistant, modeled after an Apple Genius, and you have access to my classes and webinars. In addition to that, you're also helping support a small business. It is just me in a corner office of my house. I'm not part of some large organization. So when you become a member, you are directly supporting my efforts in creating these videos. Check out danstutorials.com for more information, and thanks for watching.